here's a news flash for you. Mel doesn't need my help.
I absolutely adore Doc. He's brilliant, he's clever, he cracks me up every time we speak. He's charming, and I swear to God, if you are gonna scorn like a Scotsman.
Have you seen any of her videos? Or is this just the thing that you're trying to do this divide and conquer, that Mel needs my help because I have testicles for some reason?
Hey guys, welcome to Oral Audacity, and welcome Dr. Leah Torres. You're back on my channel, yay!
I'm so excited. The place looks so different. I love it.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
it really does. And I'm admiring your lamp. That is an elegant reading lamp that you have there.
This is
Beautiful.
older than I don't even know how old it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good.
Mm-hmm. Nice, very nice.
So for this particular episode of Oral Audacity, Dr. Leah Torres has agreed to come back on my channel, but this is a different type of show because it's a bit more on the comedic range, but we still learn stuff. You know, we can learn stuff and make fun of awfulness in the process, as we should. I think that's fair. What do you think, Dr. Torres?
I would say humor is one of the mature defense mechanisms, and so...
Well, why don't
I agree. Dr. Torres, I agree completely. For me, humor, dark nihilism, and a bleak outlook. I mean, these are my mature reactions, and I try to lean on the first, but the other two pillars of wisdom really help too. Well,
then with bleak outlook, your expectations are only met, right? Like they can only go up from there. So that's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. It's like cognitive behavioral therapy flipped on its head. You know, everything's going to be awful, and then you're like, oh, it was actually only crap. Score.
It's not awful. Sweet.
Yeah.
So. What I want to do, Dr. Torres has been on another show of mine called This Week in BS, where we had Nate Brody on, and we had Atheist Husker and Motel Cowboy. Nate Brody is a law professor, Motel Cowboy is an activist in reproductive rights, and Atheist Husker is a sex educator. TOR. So, but that was a fantastic talk. So we got to dig in a bit. So. For people who haven't, it was such a, oh God, I'm still proud of that episode. And that's largely due to the awesomeness of yourself, Dr. Torres. So for those people who didn't have a chance to watch that, why don't you talk about who you are, what you do, what you know, what you like? Yeah.
Okay.
No particular order.
5 seconds. So I'm Dr. Leah Torres. I have been, fighting on the social media aspect on the Twitters for education and sound science and knowledge that is, based on actual facts and not just feelings, and maybe this meets my own philosophies, making sure that the information that's out there that people are kind of spouting to each other has something based in science and reality. I've been doing that since, I guess, 2010, but I am more in the reproductive health aspect field, being an OBGYN, and I'm an abortion provider. I'm an abortion health educator, sexual health educator, anything having to do with those realms of science and life interest me. So I want to make sure that people have good information, accurate information, so that they are empowered and able to make the reproductive health and life decisions that are best for them, in a nutshell.
Well, I appreciate what you do and your work, and I try to boost you whenever I can.
And I appreciate you and the boost as well, because as we all know on this little forum here, there's a lot of bad information out there, and it's frankly just false, like false information.
Bad information and one or two maliciously dangerous morons. And this is an issue that I don't typically speak on, but I wanted to look back and say, well, I was an STD guy as a postdoc, so my sex outreach educative work didn't, interestingly, involve pregnancy at all. That was, I was talking about the nasty bits. Oh, this will make your balls rot off. That kind of bit. And that's a much, much easier conversation to have with all the horror and, all the darkness of it. So I was loving it. It's like, okay, great. I wasn't equipped at the time to have the conversation about abortion and abortion rights. And it's still something that is so poignant that I'm glad it's still very much in the light. And thanks for what you do. But do you think this is as significant an issue now as it was pre-Roe v. Wade, for instance?
I think it's going to be a significant issue until we recognize that people who can become pregnant get to make their own decisions about their bodies.
Hear, hear.
It's been an issue since the dawn of time. It's been performed since people were able to get pregnant. We've been doing abortions. It's not anything new, but how we talk about it and how some people view it is very new and is subject to cultural norms that have been established, maybe not by the right people or the right cultural viewpoints. I think, unfortunately, yeah, it will be an issue and relevant and important to discuss until it becomes what I would hope it becomes, abortion being spoken of like any other medical procedure, where sure, it's a medical procedure, no big deal, and you had a cardiac bypass, wow, that must have been intense, and that's where it is not something that's so charged, but rather the normalized healthcare that it is.
Yeah, I agree with you completely on this. And you heard it here first, folks. Newsflash, women aren't incubators. They're actually people. Actually people. Yeah.
I second that, yes.
Yeah, and it's pretty basic. You're a total radical for even stating that. But reflecting back, human rights for female people, we've been doing that for a couple of 100 years, maybe progressively a little bit. There's a long way to go before we actually nail it on the full sort of personhood bit. We can call it that, but it's just not quite there. Especially if I can have an opinion about legislating what you do with your uterus. That doesn't seem fair to me.
You need to tell the other testicle holders to kind of step down and if you can.
Or just tell them, make them understand where we're coming from, like where you're coming from. It's going to be the testicle holders telling the testicle holders how it is, because we've been yelling at the top of our lungs for decades. And
yeah, come on, dude. It's what we do. Remember when the tiger bit that guy's head off and they were upset? Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the tiger, it went nuts. No, it's what they do. So, sorry, testicle thing. And now I'm going to shut my mouth.
No.
All right.
Don't do that.
So what I thought I'd do is, I found this absolutely horrible study on Twitter of all things. I don't know if you're familiar with Peer. I think it's called Pub Peer or Peer Pub. Bull, can you pull that up? It's in under the Riff videos file. We've got a few things. So I thought I would talk about the screenshots that I took. I found this study. Okay, so Pub Peer. So if you're not familiar with this website, especially if you're new to science, this is a really great website to where it's post publication. So after something's been published, you can go through and you can read the paper and critique it from a scientific perspective. So this is pretty much run by scientists, which is really cool. And so I follow one of the people on PubPeer who helped establish it. And they go through and they'll read through papers and they'll say, this is the problem with the materials and methods. This is the problem with the, the sample size. So it's really good, particularly if you're a budding scientist or if you're still learning about science, to kind of see what it is that people look for. So I'll read this really quickly because I know you guys can't read it. So it's a foundation that's a California registered public benefit corporation. It's nonprofit. The overarching goal of is to improve the quality of scientific research by enabling innovative approaches for community interaction. The bylaws of the foundation establish PubPeer.com as a service run for the benefit of its readers and commenters who create its content. So what they essentially do is the website maintains and develops this PubPeer online platform for post-publication peer review, which I think is absolutely amazing. So from that, it's awesome. So, Bull, if you can pull up the sexy patients. Okay, that was the history. That's the history. I thought we could jump ahead, but if you want to check it out, go to pubpeer.com and check it out. Can you go to the sexy patients? There we go. So I found this on the Twitters, and it was posted on PubPeer. And it's the title of the article, and you'll love this, Dr. Torres, Attractiveness of Women with Rectovaginal Endometriosis, a Case Control Study.
Oh. My eyes are already rolling in the back of my head. My occipital lobe is in full view. Okay, so why? Should I even ask? I don't know. Okay, go on.
Here's the objective. Here's the incredibly awesome objective: to evaluate physical attractiveness in women with and without endometriosis. And the authors are Paolo Vercellini, Laura Buggio, I think it's Ed Gardo.
By the way, Laura is an actual woman who took part in this.
Yeah. Yes. Wait, what? But is she Italian? Is there like some sort of, machismo thing? Anyway, I don't know.
This is the Institute of Luigi Mangiali and Studi and Fondaz. Oh God, I'm butchering these words.
I don't know if Doc Savage is aware, but misogyny is alive and well all over the world. So.
Right.
Yes, indeedy. I have lived in some very sophisticated countries and some ones that it's like the last 50 years never happened. And I always find it weird.
Utah.
Pardon me?
You've been to Utah?
No, I did live in Spain and loved it, but some of the background machismo is distressing to me. They still have to put up big signs that say it's not all like punching women in the face, not acceptable.
Oh my gosh.
I don't really need to know. I don't need a billboard that says that, but clearly some people do.
So,
just offhand at that. So, looking at that study, first of all, let me just throw out this. I can't even diagnose endometriosis unless I take the person to the operating room and look inside their abdomen and pelvis with a laparoscope. So that's okay. So and then what is the goal? What is the utility of that? And
predictability. It's like, oh yeah, you're a 10. That means you're definitely getting endometriosis. So you bring them in,
Oh my gosh.
Okay. No, I don't think that's it.
It's that grotesque. I like to measure things. It's kind of what I do. So I want to know how they assessed attractiveness specifically, and quantitatively. I want the readout for that.
I think that that's important, and whoever was on that panel, and how do you control? It's just, I mean, I don't. That's like the study that again drove me into women's healthcare, because I've told people this before. The study on uterine cancer that I learned about in college that had all men as subjects.
Yep.
Oh yes.
And I was like,
yeah,
well,
that's as valid as some of the disease models that we used to use in animals. Hey, we've given rabbits a disease that rabbits don't get. Awesome.
And this medicine works because they don't have the disease.
That's going to be relevant.
Right.
But we learn and we move on. So anyone out there studying uterine cancer, make sure that there is a uterine ein. That is a good thing, generally.
Oh my gosh.
A heister, if you will.
So let me throw this up here. Can you do the next picture of the sexy patients 1 picture?
Oh, cool.
Oh boy.
It was a tweet from Leonid Schneider. And so he was essentially saying, when gynecologists, mostly male, judge their 500 naked patients for sexual attractiveness, and then write for Evo Psychology a paper about it in what was called FERT STRT, for Elsevier News. So that's essentially what it is. He breaks down the materials and methods. So the next one, Bull, if you can pull that up.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm getting excited. Material and methods. Let's do it.
So this is, I think this is sexy patients number 2. I tried to make things easier for Bull when he goes up. So if you can go to that one, they should be in order in the thing under pictures.
I'm getting a really strong predatory creep vibe from all of this.
Seductive behaviors. Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. However, in order to limit potential unintentional seductive behaviors that might have swayed the rater's judgment, information on the specific hypothesis of different degrees of attractiveness in the 3 study groups was not given in advance of the physical evaluation.
So that just means all of their data is bogus.
Yes. So go to the next one.
Wow,
let's zoom in. Let's zoom into what they highlight. So under materials and methods is the next one, Bull. So essentially, the local institutional review board approved the research protocol and all participants signed and informed consent, but they didn't tell them that they were being rated sexually.
Yeah.
For sexual.
So it's not really informed consent, is it?
Or approval.
It's really not.
You don't have much approval of a study that you don't know what the study is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one, Leonid goes into it on Twitter, and he says apparently at ReProdMed, which is reproductive med, are either blind, stupid, or misogynist pervs for having published that disgusting shite, as the Scots would say, in FERT STIRT. Patients lied to, made to sign informed consent, to be ogled by those twats, Vercellini and Fedeli, who received an ethics vote from this particular thing. Bull, I think Doc's gain is pretty high. I don't know if you can turn him down on your end. So, but yes, so that's essentially it. So these patients had no idea that they were being perved on. And so Leonid goes in to call them out. So isn't that nice to know, Dr. Torres, in 2013, women with endometriosis can be perved on by doctors with and without. Which is
it's fantastic that we've taken sexual assault to a whole new level. That's great. Like, how do you, I mean, oh my gosh, you can't, there's no sense in the study. There's no actual scientific goal. There's nothing that's going to benefit the scientific community or patients, people in general, let alone humanity as a whole, from performing such a study. And then to have it published,
Yeah.
I can't believe it goes, and it doesn't get like, it's not something that gets thrown on somebody's desk and somebody says, oh yeah, let's publish this. It goes through a variety of levels with a variety of people reading it before it actually gets put into the publication. What?
So I'm
I'll
going to
say
go out.
you're endometriosis. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, potential students, don't go there, because a bunch of smart faculty people read that paper and went, "Go ahead, man, go ahead, it's totally fine."
The more you know.
And I would have read the abstract and went, "This is a joke, right? Or you're going to send this to the Onion."
Why are you even getting to the abstract? Why did you go beyond the title? Like, I mean, I would have written the journal right off and been like, why is this even? No, absolutely not. Like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah. So, it's interesting though, and 10 out of 10 for effort. They made it look like an actual scientific paper, writing style, the whole thing, but it's just a whole bunch of steaming horseshit, unfortunately.
And that's how people get fooled. Mm-hmm. When you can make things look like it's actual science and it's not.
No.
And I should be very clear for the audience who are extremely sophisticated and intelligent. Even smart people, not expert in this kind of field, can get sucked into it, and frequently do.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the problem with like legislators, in my experience, because I've had to deal with a lot of them using science to make laws about what I can and can't do with my uterus. They will find a journal and an article and decide that that is fact in science, and therefore it is law in the scientific community because it has been published. There's no thought to what we in the scientific community do, which is critique whatever scientific study, because I'm sure this is a surprise to everybody. No study is perfect. Each one has flaws. But what you have to do is judge whether or not those flaws are great enough to say it's hogwash, or if they're small enough and the imperfections are minor enough that you can say this holds merit, and let me change my way of thinking, let me change my practice based on this study and see how it goes, because overall it is scientifically sound. No. That's not what happens in the real world on Twitter and in the legislative process in Congress. They're just like, oh, that was published, therefore it's good. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
See, that's why that particular one. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say that's why we in science we make conclusions tentatively, and that's why scientific papers don't sound like regular speaking people language, because we say this phenomenon is consistent with the hypothesis, the evidence indicate this, and then you can speculate as to what this might imply. But it's all super tentative, because the joy of it is you can get it wrong, or you can make an inappropriate conclusion, or produce a phenomenon that's irrepeatable, and then it doesn't fly. But that's the fuel for the process of learning, not, it must have been Jesus because I don't understand it. No offense to any, Jesus believers and such.
Well, I think that's why I like sites like PeerPub that actually go through and say, hey, look, this is why this particular article is a problem. And these are the things that we're looking at. And so there are people that work just on that site who are academics and in science kind of saying, this is wrong. This is garbage. This is why it's garbage. So it's like an additional peer review outside of publication that the general population can look at and go, this is what this means. So I was happy to come across that particular website. And so I was like, this is awesome. I'm going to share it with all my science friends that are students still. Go read this. This explains things. It's great.
Yeah. We used to call that that forum, the journal, Infection and Immunity. and there were squabbles going on for years. Oh, he said that. No, it's actually this. And again, that's the back and forward that drives us all collectively, to make progress.
I agree.
Precisely.
So I have a fun video for you, Dr. Torres. You wanna rip apart some really stupid stuff that's on, as far as a video, it's under Riff Videos. I'll give you your choice. Would you like to look at a video on those yoni pearls? Or would you like to look at a video on, let me see. I have yoni pearls. I have a video on a cervical cancer treatment that's like cures it automatically. And then I also have a video, I think, on, let me look. And then I also have a video on vaginal steaming on how to do it at home. I'll let you pick. Which one would you like to watch?
Oh God. Okay.
Because I know you're limited on time, so I figured just pick.
Well, okay. I think that without the video, we can address the yoni and the steam. So let's do the cervical cancer, because I feel like that has a much more significant impact on public health, let's say.
Okay. Cervical cancer treatment, Bull. Of the and feel free to stop it at any time, guys, if you have any comments.
Cancer. A woman discovered a powerful mix of 3 ingredients, signs of uterine cancer. Unfortunately, women tend to have problems in your womb and in the worst case have a tumor, which is very serious, but if caught early is treatable. Veselina Stevic is a woman who decided cured of a tumor in the uterus naturally. After being diagnosed, she learned about a natural remedy made from aloe vera and decided to try it because I had nothing to lose. After using it for a certain period of time.
Stop. To my eye, first look, this is as legitimate as black salve is for clearing out your skin cancers. Yeah, maybe marginally less chemically harmful.
How do you have nothing to lose? What is that?
Yeah.
I'm going to ignore modern science and try an herb because I have that's losing. Like when you don't, okay.
I thought the happy upbeat music was great with the whistling in the background. I'm like, this is awesome.
I'm interested in formulation and dosage style. What do you do with the aloe vera plant? Do you like chew it, rub it behind your ears?
Let's have a look. Well, let's see what do they do with the aloe vera. Let's see. What are the other
corresponding medical checkup? She was shocked to see that his tumor was gone so fast. Then we say the treatment she used. Natural treatment against tumor in the uterus. Then we will give to know what are the ingredients you will need for this treatment tumor in the uterus.
I love the Siri voice.
Ingredients. 100 grams of aloe vera juice. 500 grams of nuts. 300 grams of natural honey. Preparation method.
Natural.
Mix all ingredients
natural
in a
honey.
blender.
Did she say natural honey? Like unpasteurized honey?
The first half an hour before
meaning
meals.
not made in a lab.
This miraculous mixture should be kept in a cool, dark place. Warning signs of cervical cancer. 1. Leg pain. One of the symptoms that can occur in the early stages of cancer of the uterus is the leg.
Pause. The natural honey, like unpasteurized honey with the botulinum spores. Keep it in a dark place in the rich nutrient mix. And then do what with it? Where are you putting the Clostridium botulinum?
In a cool, dark place like the uterus, I'm sure.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Because the uterus should be a warm, dark place, really. Not cool. I mean, 98.6, right?
That formulation and the potential contamination issue there, we're talking about flaccid paralysis. So I guess you wouldn't notice your endometriosis or your cancer. Being dead.
It's going to be not your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honey and what was it? Honey and nuts? They didn't say what kind of nuts.
Nuts.
It sounds like a breakfast cereal.
I mean, you get some crackling oats and some aloe and you're done.
Honey nut vagina.
I was thinking
breakfast of champions.
Honey nut pussios.
Oh my God! Of course.
Throw some yogurt in there. Oh boy.
Can't you just see one of those dreadful lifestyle people in America, like the evil one, the right wing, any one of them? Yeah, but I was thinking of one of the homey cooks going. All you need, you just get your botulinum and your cactus and you examine the nuts, and then you stick it right up.
And then
Yeah, that's going to be a big seller.
I wonder if that works for anal cancer. You think if you shove that up your butt, it'll work?
It'll certainly distract you.
A whole bunch of legislators and do a randomized controls trial of that.
Yeah.
Do we want to try to make it to the video?
I need to know I need to know where this goes. I need to know.
Let's go.
I think they're just hitting the symptoms now.
Pain and swelling. This happens because the cervix swells and prevents blood flow normally work, ultimately causing the painful sensation. 2. Vaginal discharge. The vaginal discharge is normal when it secretes infrequently and without color or odor. If the vaginal discharge increases, it secretes more often, smelly and has an irregular appearance, it is best to consult a doctor because it can be a clear symptom of uterine cancer. 3. Unusual bleeding.
So many people
Some women have irregular periods and should consult a doctor to know the possible cause of these runaways. If until now the period has been normal and start bleeding between periods or after sexual intercourse periods occur, it is important alerted and consult.
Period is like an angry teenager.
Pain during intercourse. Feel discomfort or pain during sex is another key symptom to detect cervical cancer. In this case, it is best to consult a doctor for him to determine the reason for pain during intercourse.
It'd be also
if you have
erectile
any of the above symptoms, we invite you to consult your doctor immediately.
If you have a headache, you may have uterine cancer.
Share.
Wait, what? You're not even telling me if I put this in a tea, or if I rub it on my back, or if because it's aloe.
You stick it in your sock drawer, and it makes everything smell like nuts and aloe.
Turn 3 times counterclockwise.
Did someone say erectile dysfunction? It's like, oh, I didn't about that.
That's the gimmick.
Yeah. If you suffer pain during intercourse, your lover may be an absolute dick. Not in a good way.
Yeah, probably not. Do you want to watch? I think I have one more short video if you want to check that out.
Let's do this, because so first of all, can we just address the fact that this exists? Okay, for one thing, someone put this together, put a lot of time and effort into this existing, and then placed it on the internet for the world to be able to see and view. Why is this like this shouldn't be allowed? Like it should I
love that it's allowed. I love that it's allowed.
Okay.
Dr. Torres, I feel like we've done a reveal. The curtain is lifted on the dark side. Should I tell Dr. Torres about the aged urine therapy guy?
Oh, God.
Now you have to.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Urine, it'll cure what ails you, and it gets more magical the older it is. And you run it through your nasal head passages, and you do enemas with it, and you bathe in it and whatnot, and it's really good for you. But probably not great for your social life, I would expect. So the rabbit hole goes way deeper than you suspect.
Clearly. And I am so frightened because there are people who will watch that, take their urine, store it for 3 months, run it through their nasal passages, and guess what? Whatever was bothering them before is not going to be what's been bothering them. I promise you that.
That's right. It's like
they'll have all new problems.
Excellent symptomatic cure for the common cold. I punch you in the face. It's like you're not going to think about your cold for about 4 hours. Oh, yeah, that cleared it up, didn't it?
Oh gosh, I do have a treat video. I don't know if you want to watch it or not. Have you heard of vaginal demonic possession?
That's not. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do. Okay.
That's a thing.
So many
that is a thing,
gynecologic
by the way.
things. I mean, okay, so is this? I mean, I'm thinking premenstrual dysphoric disorder, right? That's where I'm. But okay, vaginal demonic possession. So the vagina.
Look, oral sex. Oral sex demon.
Okay. All right. Hold on, Bull. I'm hearing sounds. Okay. We have a video of a woman that's been possessed by a sexual demon who's engaging with oral sex with her. Let's just have a look. You know, have you got it, Bull?
You can't say that on YouTube.
Look, oral sex. Oral sex demon. You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look. You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let the sperm of that man out. Out, you demon. Out.
She's spitting.
Let go.
Let go. To be demon sperm. I don't understand what's going on here.
There are things beyond our understanding. I'm going to throw that out there.
Yeah. She's seriously upset because she thinks this demon has been like forcing her to have oral sex. And so he hits her on the head.
Hit by the head.
Who are you? Speak. Who are you? Who are you? Look at that demon.
Okay. So, all right.
All right, let's stop. Oh my God.
Now, people used to get sick, and they used to have seizures and get delirious, and they used to then be essentially killed because they were possessed, right?
Right.
This is a thing that has happened in our history of the world before we had an understanding of modern medicine and science and physiology and da-da-da-da-da. I can't explain. I cannot explain what is happening in that video.
I can.
Go for it, Doc, because I'm curious to what your conclusions are based on this information.
Right. Do you want the short version?
Short version.
Grifting. Shameless grifting. Total fake. But you know what? The power of crazy people in groups. You can do this kind of thing. It's really just a little bit of showmanship. And, oh, I felt bad for that lady. Does she actually believe that she's, like, blowing a demon? I mean,
so
what if,
I bet her mother's really proud, right?
What if she's in on the grip?
She's probably in on it.
Yeah, she's probably totally in on it, you know? Hey, you know, if you call it theater, it's all good, you know?
This is art.
Out.
This is what art is.
Out.
Yes. But people okay, so I get this question, right? Is it possible for somebody to go through a pregnancy for 9 months, not know they're pregnant, and then end up like in the emergency room delivering a baby saying, I didn't know I was pregnant? Yes, because the brain is a very powerful organ. Yeah. And it's hard to understand how that goes, like how denial, we don't know how deep denial can go, all of the different things that denial can do. But I'm going to tell you folks something. The brain and the body, they are connected. It's a thing. Yeah. And so, where this lady is at, I don't know. But I think there's a lot to be said about the brain and its power to either convince you that you're not pregnant when you are, or pseudosciasis, convince you that you are pregnant when you're not. I've seen both of these things. It's fascinating.
And sympathetic pregnancy is a thing. It is a phenomenon that's based on empathy. And my brother-in-law bloated up like an elephant. But he called it a sympathetic pregnancy. I think it was more induced by pork, to be frank with you. But
beer.
Oh, wow. I think you're back. I thought you were roboting for a second. So I don't know how much more time you have, Dr. Torres. I know you got some stuff you have to do.
I should. I mean, I should probably wrap it up just to be the responsible person that I'm trying to be this weekend.
Okay. Well, why don't you tell people? Yes.
Yes. Oh, I was just going to say,
Oh, no.
I suppose this is very responsible since we are trying to show all of the ways that bad information can be disguised as science or fact. So this is also very important and responsible, I would say.
Yes, it is. I do have a video where they're trying to show how yoni eggs work with highly super awesome computer graphics that look incredibly sciencey.
Great. Yeah, you can science the shit out of something, but like yeah, that doesn't make it so. But
yeah, it looks nice. You know,
if things are porous, don't put them in your vagina. If things are above 100 degrees Celsius, don't put them in your vagina. Like just
like steam,
don't do that.
right?
Like steam.
Like
steam.
Like
so
steam.
I kind of want to get you. I want to get your both y'all's take on what you think this black stuff is in this video that this yoni egg is absorbing.
Okay.
Well, let's take a look at that yoni video really quickly. Yoni eggs in the riff videos. So.
Wow.
So here goes the yoni egg. This is how it works. You apparently got some black stuff inside your uterus.
Yeah.
And this yoni egg just takes it. That's what it is.
Demons. Out, demons! Out!
Or is that the aloe nut honey mixture egg? Maybe.
It might be. So they come in little packages. Jump ahead a little bit, Bull, because this part's kind of weird. It's just all she does talk about. It's a pink package because that's the color women like. Okay, so that's what that looks like.
Okay, so
I don't want to watch this.
No, we are done. That's it. That's all I need to see.
Okay.
So let's talk about for a
this
second.
Yeah. Carry on.
Like the sheer misogyny and shaming of the dirty uterus that needs to be detoxified. Let's start there. Because that's what this is. This is a product that says your uterus is dirty and here's what you need. And we all know our uteruses are dirty because that's what we've been told all of our lives. And that's how we've been socialized to believe that our uteruses are dirty, our vaginas are dirty, our vulvas smell and blah, blah, blah. And none of that is true. It is a patriarchal tool. And this is a predatory product, hoping, I think, to cause an infection. Because that's what this is going to do. The only thing this product is going to do is cause a very bad infection in your vagina and or uterus. I promise.
I mean, it's full of just different herbs, and I'm pretty certain they didn't autoclave those herbs or those yoni eggs before they put them in the pink package.
And the string and the the vaginal, you have, okay, everybody 101 vaginas. Vagina 101. You have bacteria that live in your vaginas, okay? They are in balance. Normally, they're in balance. A whole lot of bacteria live in your vaginas in harmony. Yes, yes. Sometimes they get out of balance and you might have a yeast infection or you might have bacterial vaginosis, and that's treatable and that's okay and it's temporary. And then we get back into balance. You throw herbs and strings and messes in, don't do it. Don't douche. Don't put soap up there. Don't put steam up there. Don't put that which is not scientifically shown to be okay and safe in there. Like tampons for a temporary period of time are okay. You leave them in there long enough, they will cause an infection.
Yeah. Toxic shock
I feel like
syndrome.
this is not something like it's like the billboard. Like, do you need a billboard to say that, like, you know, beating your spouse is wrong? Like, do I need to really say that this is not a good idea? I guess so. I don't know. It's just
it's horrible, isn't it? The realization of how moronic a lot of people actually are, especially when you show them something shiny and then go, give me $50 for this, and then you can ram it up whatever bodily orifice you want and it'll fix your chakras.
Well, and like, there's no product that I can think of on this planet that is for detoxifying a penis, because penises are wonderful and they can do no harm and they are amazing and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, the vagina's dirty, the uterus is dirty, it needs to be detoxified. Like,
penises, I mean, as a current penis holder, penises can be nasty because, I mean, there are all kinds of things that can go wrong in there. And let me tell you, balanitis is not a joy. So maybe a little yoni egg would do the good thing there, and draw out the evil spirits from my willy.
You may
Who
have
knows?
a willy demon.
I might have been possessed for the last 40 years. I just don't know.
You know, and it's funny because the yoni egg, some people claim that removes the negativity from previous boyfriends. So, Doc, we need to come up with a product that removes the negativity from previous girlfriends from her willy. What would you call it?
The block button on Facebook. Oh, that too.
The what?
Zithromax, penicillin, and a bit of Rocephin.
That'll do it.
That would do a bit of good.
How much negativity do you have on your penis? Can we measure that? You know, is that something that can be
this conversation ends when you're talking about measuring and penises, you'll never be monetized again. We could talk about Nazis and it would be better. Oh yeah, that's the guy, that's the penis measure guy. Thanks a lot. Nice.
They're so sensitive. So sensitive.
It's how you use it, from what I hear. It's
so true. So true.
It's how you use it. You know, girls that are lesbians do just fine without them. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Let it be known, we do not need penises in the world. Just saying.
Thanks.
They're nice to have, though. You know, I'm just saying.
Sure.
I do. You know, sure.
Nobody asked me. Nobody asked me before I was given one. You know, it kind of came installed. So
I can't believe
the patriarchy as well. Yep, wasn't me. I'm doing my bit.
Yeah.
Actually, it was. I mean, that's the irony. The patriarchy. That was all me.
Okay.
Just
all right. See how you are.
Fair enough. Oh my gosh, Bull. I think we have a commercial. Actually, we have a commercial. I think sometimes we have little messages and commercials that pop up, Dr. Torres. So maybe we should check out this latest. I think you play my video first, and then the commercial after that, Bull, under the commercial file in the Google Drive. That's how we're very high tech here.
So we're not doing any more. We're not doing any more haunted vaginas then. That bit's over.
We do. I have plenty of stuff for us to talk about. It's just, whatever, I can give you guys different things that I have. So did you find it, Bull? A word from our sponsor.
A
new
word
sponsor.
From our sponsor?
Yeah, it's the commercial file.
Commercial fake. Okay. So you want your message first?
My message first, and then the next one. See, we're a high profile and super fancy thing.
I love it.
I love Bull. I'm so glad I have him. Actually, it makes it easier. It really, really does.
Hello, I am the digital representation of ScientistMel. I want to take a moment to thank all of my patrons on patreon.com/ScientistMel, as well as all of you who are giving through Super Chats and my help with GoFundMe for my computer. Thank you so much, as well as PayPal and any Streamlabs donations. I really appreciate your help. So guess what, guys? We have a special word from our newest sponsor. So let's check it out. Yay!
Oh boy,
that's great.
I love it.
I like that. You have patrons. I have hatrons.
Oh.
I've had plenty of patrons on past weekend, but we won't talk about that here. Let's have a go with our new sponsor. What they got to say?
Is your kitty ornery and aggravated? Do you need your kitty to transcend to a state of bliss? Have I got news for you? I am the Plentiful Pussy, here to offer you a brand new cure for ennui. Spruce up your lady kitty with special herbs that entice that local tomcat to come knocking on your door. And it's like catnip for your coochie. All for $19.95.
I was hoping it was a euphemism. Yay!
I
No.
3 or 4 times a week, I find myself despairing for our species. I think anything that
Only
we
3 or
had,
4.
3 or 4, I'm working on it. You know, anything that we had, all the good stuff. I don't know if we're doing that too much anymore. I think this is a real product, and God help us all.
I'm not certain if it's real or not. I made that up today, like an hour ago. So a couple of hours ago before.
Well, I love the tomcat, and I love just Plentiful Pussy that needs to be on a t-shirt. That needs to be on a billboard. That's what we need.
Why not make that a website? Somebody help that.
I'm gonna make that the website.
Actually, that already is a website, but not the kind of website I think you're thinking about.
Have you been visiting the plentifulpussy.com, Doc?
Me? No, I'm strictly boys halfway house. Christian fundamentalist glory hole is more my style.
Oh, that's probably a thing. Okay.
Yeah, well, it is now. I just copyrighted both of those terms, so I'll leave that as residual income for the children I don't have.
That's that you know of.
God. Oh my goodness. All right. So, do we want to try stupid things people say on the internet? Because I have something that would be there. Do you want to give that a go, Doc? You up for that? Stupid things?
I mean, I can't believe you can pick only one, but all right, let's do this.
Yeah, okay. I was going to go things other than vaginal herb tea bags for, whatever that does for you. So, let's do it.
Tweet. That's just cheating.
Okay.
Can it be one, like, stupid things people say on the internet? President Trump, Commander-in-Chief, I want to buy Greenland.
It's cheating. It's low-hanging fruit. Come on, I expect more.
That is low-hanging fruit. I do have something fun for you to kind of rip apart if you want on stupid things people say, Dr. Torres. So let's do the audacity. Bull. We got the audacity. So
my name is Jimmy. You got the audacity. You're going to jail. You got the audacity. My name is Jimmy. You got the audacity. That's all I got to say. You got the audacity. I sold $3,000. You got the audacity. Audacity. You got the audacity. Audacity. Because you don't got no evidence. My name is Jimmy. My name is Jimmy.
Oh, goodness. So this is the first stupid things people say on the internet. This comes from our lovely, lovely person. She has a YouTube channel. She's called The Transformed Wife. And she says, cervical cancer rates are much higher in those women whose husbands use condoms due to the toxic chemicals in the condoms, but women's reproductive organs are improved with routine exposure to the progesterone in their husband's seminal plasma. Who wants to go first?
Do I start with the first word or transform from what? Let's start there.
They're talking. I think she's talking about viral transformation, as in possibly retroviral transformation. Does she mean seroconverted wife? perhaps.
She's a heavy fundamentalist on YouTube who believes women are subservient to men because that's how God wants them to be.
Yeah.
Which
So
how does that
that's a bit
okay
background. So
well, there's obviously something wrong there because first of all, I wasn't aware that there was progesterone in semen. Second of all, I wasn't aware that there's any sort of vaginal health benefit from semen. Third of all, semen tend to contain sperm, which can cause a pregnancy, which is actually health and life, altering physiologically, as well as increasing risks of health and life there. So I think everything in that sentence is wrong. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
It's fractally wrong. 360 degrees bullshit.
What about all the toxins in condoms, guys? Those chemicals.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Okay. I think that was if maybe like a nod to naloxonol 9. Am I saying that right?
Naloxonol 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Which can deteriorate a condom and cause it to be porous, transmitting viruses and bacteria, which is obviously not what we want if we're using a condom. But it doesn't cause cancer.
No.
No. I mean, that thing is essentially a detergent, a surfactant.
Okay, guys, what causes cervical cancer? Let's get this clear. Doc, I know you know this, and I know Dr. Torres knows this.
Yeah, well, what is human papillomavirus, Alex?
Yay! You get a gold star.
Right.
Yay! What is she right, Doc? Are you sure? We need somebody to explain to us.
One of us. Oh yeah, I need to mansplain it. One of us has clinical experience and qualifications, and one of us makes vaccines for a living. So yeah, you're totally right.
Including what vaccine? Which exists?
And
Gardasil.
here's the thing. So, boys,
HPV. You worked on that, didn't you?
You may not get cervical cancer, but condyloma accumulata aren't nice, and you have to get them frozen off. So get Gardasil and don't be a viral vector.
Right. Penises, the rats of the bubonic plague that is cervical cancer.
Oh, come on. There is a flip side to that coin. Asymptomatic gonococcus and chlamydia, and then it's passed on to the boys, and we get minor inconvenience for a short time rather than cumulative sequelae and life-altering things.
Hey, it's important. Let's acknowledge that. Yes.
Yep. Yes.
Oh, my work-life balance just disintegrated. I started talking about vaccines. Shit. Stop listening, staff. It's not me.
It's important. Get the HPV vaccine, boys and girls.
It is good, and hopefully not, and for people who are over 25, I know the FDA approved the HPV vaccine for those age groups, but not all insurance companies cover it yet. So hopefully they will do that soon, which
it's a pretty good investment, though. I mean, it's basically picking off one type of cancer that you will never get, or you can get, but it's extremely low probability. And also, if you're already carrying HPV and you may not have symptoms, the vaccine is extremely effective at preventing breakthrough symptoms. So it's worth getting.
It's really a win-win.
Yeah. So even if you do carry one of the cancer-causing ones, if you get vaccinated, it's less likely to manifest again.
Yep. And it's a really cool vaccine because you basically take a couple of genes and get a cell to make them, and these beautiful little icosahedron viral-like particles form as if by magic or design, perhaps, or rather just chemistry and hydrophobicity, and it's beautiful.
Science. It's like magic, but real.
It works.
Yeah, it works. So I do have a video of our lovely transformed wife talking about how much she hates birth control. Do you think you can get through that, Dr. Torres?
Is this somebody I have to like now debunk? There's so many people. I get tired.
Or we have the pun bun challenge. Can you get through all of the puns without laughing or groaning?
Nope.
Dr. Torres,
we could try.
Dr.
We could
Torres,
try.
you have friends. You can reach out, and we'll help you debunk the morons.
Okay, debunk or pun
Dr.
bun
Big Hand.
is.
Well,
I want to see the.
You want to see what?
I want to see the anti-birth control transformed woman.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm thinking, is she a transformer? Does she turn into a bus or
does she make the
W bug?
Does she do that when she transforms? That's important.
Optimus Prime.
Let's see what she says.
Okay, the transformed wife, I believe, is in Stupid Things.
Hello, my name is Leah.
You might need to turn her up.
And today I wanted to share with you why I absolutely hate birth control.
Can you turn her up, Bull?
Before birth control was readily available and people approved of it, most families had 6 to 8 children. That was the average children that people had. And women knew their purpose.
Because most of their kids died.
Birth control.
Whoa. Women knew their purpose. What?
I was going to say 6 to 8 children.
Women knew their purpose. What?
Yeah, make me a sandwich. I think she's that type.
Oh, you think?
Dr. Torres, can I ask your opinion? Do you think this woman is like the poster person for Stockholm Syndrome and she's maybe been hit with a stick like regularly over the last 25 years?
That would be a generous reasoning for the words coming out of her mouth. Yes. That would be also the most sympathetic. Yeah.
I always like to give the benefit of the doubt,
It's important. It is important.
I think so.
And I think if you're going to come from a place where women know their place, you lost me at women. I think because in throughout history, if you look back at the, of course you can look back at the history books written by men, or you could look at the history that is just known by word of mouth and all that stuff. We've never felt like our place is somewhere that it is not what we decide what our place is. Right?
Seems pretty basic to me. Yeah.
I
could just imagine. I could imagine my great grandfather saying that to my great granny, and being told to piss off. And that's going back like 100 years.
For example.
Yeah. Back in your place.
So and I mean anybody. If you take that and just say to anyone, one person saying to another person, your place is. In what world does that ever fly?
Yeah, usually outside of very, very specific and extremely limited circumstances that I won't go into, the only appropriate response to that is back in your place.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I think that she's obviously she's pandering to an audience.
Yes.
Clearly. It breaks my heart that if she truly holds these beliefs, it breaks my heart that she doesn't see beyond this very narrow view of the world. Yeah. And so what I would hope for her is to have exposure to people who think differently from her, and so that she might see there is a different world that exists beyond her narrow views. And it is a good world filled with good people doing things like becoming teachers and astronauts and scientists and doctors and lawyers and helping those, you know, fellow human beings achieve what they want to achieve in life, as opposed to telling fellow human beings what they should or should not do, can or cannot be. That's just my thoughts.
And also the 6 to 8 kids. That's because half of them died due to like diseases and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, also and those are the women that survived childbirth 6 to 8 times.
Oh God!
Yeah, that's getting into low numbers, isn't it?
Yeah.
And back in those days, you know, you could get married and you were pretty confident it was going to end one way or another in about 5 to 7 years.
Oh God! Particularly if you're Henry VIII's wife.
Yeah. You've got 6 to 8 kids in a 2 up, 2 down house with rats in it. You've got typhus and cholera. It's beautiful. Impetigo. Everyone gets impetigo scars.
Oh God!
Yeah.
All the cowpox. You'd start rubbing your kids on cows.
Smallpox as well. Yeah, diseases that we don't get now. You know?
Wonder how that happened.
Fun times. Yeah. Vaccines, maybe.
Science.
I've been accused of being responsible for autism, and I take it as a kind of backhanded compliment, but you know, in the darkest possible, like just absurd way. Yeah, it was me. Patriarchy, autism, it's all me.
Apparently, I murdered, you know, on the reg. So yeah, that's a thing too.
Oh yeah. I'm involved in ongoing crimes against humanity by curing people's cancer, and how does that work? It's like,
are you playing God? Because some people should just not live that long. I feel like you're just playing God. I don't know.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually using weird genetic technology to do things with T cells to make them like super T cells. Wow. It's like Jurassic Park, but with immune cells.
That's what people imagine. You know that, right?
Make like a megalodon. Make a megalodon T cell that goes and just.
That's basically what I'm doing, actually.
Okay.
It's pretty much it.
I'm on board, man.
All joking aside, the field is transformative, and here's an interesting geopolitical point. None of this was legal in the US, not even the basic research that has now kind of moved into what I'm doing, under at least the last Republican president pre-Trump. And it's still an issue that in the industry we're like, can we invest in the US because of the political stability in terms of the things that we're doing, none of which involve fetal tissue, but stem cells are part of it, but they're not derived from fetal tissue. You morons.
There are different types of stem cells, and I think that's something that the general public doesn't quite grasp. You have adult stem cells, but the pluripotent stem cells are kind of easier to manipulate to encourage them to become different tissues more so than the adult ones, because they're kind of already picked a kind of job. So it's a bit more difficult to navigate towards
just a note to my my Patreons at L'Oreal. Your skin goo, the new skin goo that's like $900 that contains stem cells, brackets, cells from the stem of a plant, and it's stem cell face goo that takes the years off you, turns you something else. I'm like, that is so cheeky. You lying little shits. Oh, it's a stem cell from a chrysanthemum. Oh. That'll cure my Parkinson's. Brilliant. Chew a bouquet of flowers. Oh, I look 20 years younger and my brain's fine.
Oh, God.
Add aloe and nuts and natural honey, and you've got the cure for cancer.
Yeah. Just rub it on your face. That'll get rid of skin cancer and make you look younger. And if you you want the recipe, just send me like $500 and I'll donate that to science and give it to you.
Yeah, I'll send you the magic aloe plant. But Dr. Torres, have you come across black salve as a cancer cure? You come across that?
No, I've not. Of course, I will refer my cancer concerning patients to gynecologic oncologists generally. So,
of course.
But no, black cohosh for menopausal hot flushes also not a thing. But and this is let's be fair though for a second. There are medicinal properties to herbs, right? Aspirin comes from the aspen bark. Aloe is an anti-inflammatory, so much a thing. There are medicinal properties to herbs. Don't just pretend that cancer can be cured with them, though. Like that's not how it works. You gotta. No. It's more complicated than that.
Yeah, absolutely, and folk medicine is a thing. In part because it works, and sometimes it works for reasons other than the chemistry. And all of these things are valid in medicine, provided they don't stop you from accessing actually effective care, because alternative medicine, when it's proven to be effective, becomes actual medicine. And to reinforce your point, St. John's wort for minor depression is a relatively effective and relatively safe over-the-counter thing, and it's often used in Europe.
So we're not discounting herbal properties. What we're saying is, don't play scientist if you're not one. Maybe is that what we're saying? I don't know. What are we saying?
I think
be saying
professional advice is the best way to go, particularly for medicine. And then, see what they have to say.
Yeah. And for, some of the audience, the hatriots in the audience, what we're saying is, and here's an analogy. I know you guys struggle with analogies and abstract thinking and concepts, object permanence.
Those are the hatriots, not the actual viewers that we love. So.
No, our viewers are awesome, but I've got some people watching, the same people who send goblins after me regularly. What I'm saying is, or what Mel's saying, when your car breaks down, don't take it to a dentist. Meaning, when you need medical advice, don't talk to a moron on the internet.
That's exactly true. Do you want to watch?
It's interesting, though.
I was going to ask if you want to watch more of the Transform Wife, but I'm kind of worried that just might make everybody want to die.
No, I've got to get my cringe on. Let's get the Transform Wife.
All right. All right. Come on.
A bit more. Okay. I have more cringe if you need. So more of the Transformed Wife, bull. Can we cope? I don't know. It's almost like,
can we transform her back? Could we transform her back into like a functional human?
That would be nice. I think it's almost like a drinking game. How many times does she say, God wants?
Actually, watch her eyes, because I picked up in the previous clip, she's sending us a message. It's like
she's sending us a message.
Morse code.
Have you got
Get
it,
me
Bull?
the hell out of here.
Have we lost Bull? Is Bull gone? He's had it with all of us and left. He's like, I'm not doing this anymore. Bull's gone. Are you gone, Bull? I don't know what's going on with Bull. I'm worried. Should I
It's
send
a coup d'etat.
It probably is. I've had such a weird.
This is a sign. This is a sign that we should not, watch more of her. God is telling us that this is bad information.
This is
ladies
bad
and gentlemen. God is saying the Transformed Wife is not good information. That's what this is.
Atheists owned. Totally Jesus.
All right. So, there was another video I had talking about vaginal steaming. So this woman essentially, while we're waiting on Bull, this woman essentially, she took a whole bunch of different herbs that smell really nice, threw it in a pot and boiled it. She got an ottoman, I'm guessing from IKEA or something.
I need to interject, and then I'm going to shut up because this is just too weird for me, and I love it. I had an image of vaginal steaming being like a service, like carpet cleaning, where the guy comes round with the big thing and, hey, where you want your rugs? Except it's, your vagina, like an apparatus to do it.
Yeah, maybe that could be a side hustle for you, Doc.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, if you ask the internet, I already go around in a van just knocking on doors, aspirating uteruses and performing abortions all over the place.
Why not safely get a steamer and just...
I mean, I would be the one to do it.
Yeah, that would work. That might be a good side hustle. But this is what she does. She gets a pot, puts all kinds of herbs in it, and then she boils the water. All right. And while that's happening, she gets one of those ottomans that are like a storage ottoman. The top comes off. She puts a plastic bag in there because she don't want to make the ottoman dirty or wet.
This is elaborate, man.
She's thinking ahead. She's like, have you got the transformed wife, or are we going to watch vaginal steaming?
I think the vaginal.
I don't think I can handle vaginal steaming.
Let's watch the vaginal steaming. It doesn't show lady bits, I promise. You see enough of that all day, Dr. Torres.
Oh, God.
Okay, turn it up.
Hey YouTube, it's your girl V Sharif, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn this everyday ottoman into a vaginal steaming pot. So stay tuned.
Oh, I already know how this is going to end. No.
I like the introduction,
First,
Mel.
you'll need
Pause,
an everyday trash bag
please.
to cover the ottoman to make sure that the steam doesn't ruin the inside of the ottoman.
Why are you not using a trash bag?
Now you need a giant measuring cup or a glass or ceramic bowl.
Yeah.
Can you pause,
Bull? On the inside of the ottoman, and let's get started.
I think Bull's having technical difficulties. Okay, we paused. Yeah.
Why do you need an ottoman if you're going to use why don't you just use a trash can?
not special then.
Why are you more worried? Why are you more worried about the inside of the ottoman than you are the inside of you? That's the real question.
Obviously, that's the more poignant question, but I just thought I'd address the ottoman issue. Why are you okay? Don't steam your vaginas, folks. Don't do it. Just
why? What does it not improve them?
Steam burns. And if you've ever put your hand over a teapot that has just begun to steam, you will know that it burns your hand. Now imagine that steam going onto skin that is much like the skin on the inside of your mouth. That's the same skin on the inside of the vagina. That's gonna hurt. So don't steam your skin. It's really that simple.
But but this is special steam.
Yeah, it's the special steam that doesn't burn. Okay. That's called fog.
Fair enough. Can I fog my vagina?
Sure. Why not? I imagine you could. That's much safer.
It's wonderful Halloween decoration, fogging vaginas everywhere. Just in time for Halloween. You're a fog vagina machine.
For any newcomers to the audience, this is Token Man Hour, and we're here talking about vaginas. I like them. I've rarely come across a vagina that I didn't appreciate, at least. you know, and
Well, see?
people that have vaginas, they're kind of awesome. It's almost like they're people, and some of them are really cool, some of them aren't. And they're like men, but different. And it's fascinating because we see the world in different ways, and it's really cool.
Hear, hear.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't steam
boy.
your vagina.
Yeah, vaginas are
Gentlemen,
beautiful the way they are.
They are. Do you want to see what herbs they use?
oh
I'm
yeah,
sure
bring it.
saffron is in there, like it was in the. First of all, going back to the little egg thingy, I don't even want to call it what it is. The little egg thing that had saffron in it. That is expensive. That goes on paella, not in your vagina.
And it also comes from crocuses, and it has colchicine in it, which really isn't a good biochemical thing to be putting anywhere with smooth muscle, you morons. And it will turn your vagina yellow. You know, like the Hare Krishna's
Super
robe.
attractive.
Oh yeah.
It looked like you have a case of vaginal jaundice.
Yeah.
I only have jaundice right here. Nowhere else. Just right here.
Because yellow
Vaginal
discharge. That's a good. You see doctors for that. That's a
no. Oh
yeah,
wow.
if you get that, you need to get that looked at.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's see what she adds to it because Ottomans, boiling water.
Oh, dude, it already sounded like I was going to say just throw in a handful of barley and some bones, and you've got a very nice soup. Just don't put your vagina over it.
Now we're going to bring a pot of
Oh my God, that does
6
not end
to
well.
8 cups of distilled or spring water to a boil.
Yeah,
distilled
or
then we're going to add our dry herbs. And here
because
they
those
are.
are the same
You're worried
thing.
about infection.
So this is what they look like, and they smell wonderful. I have
No.
I don't even know what's
rosebud,
there. It looks like cute.
chamomile, hibiscus leaf, raspberry leaf, rosemary, oregano, and parsley. So these are the things that are in here.
That's
So
a
everything
bouquet
you put on
garni.
To have any more children or anything.
Oh,
I'm just
dude,
trying
that
to
is a
get
bouquet garni. I
vaginal
tie that
care.
up in
That's all
little
in here.
bags
Some
and add it
nice,
to my bourguignon.
fresh vajayjay. No more children.
What?
Now I'm going to turn the water
No more
off.
children. What?
She said fresh
And
vajayjay,
I'm
no
going
more
to
children.
add my herbs
I wonder.
and let them.
She's not purporting this to be an abortifacient.
I don't know. I don't
I
quite
think
know what she means there.
I think that
I'm
may
gonna
be
stir
part
them
of
here.
the thing here. Oh shit.
Get them all nice.
So she's making tea.
Covered with
Right, but not. And this, oh God. Okay.
I think she's using this as a contraceptive because she tells all of her dates that she does this.
Very easy.
That would be good birth control.
You
And
can
they
also
run
make
away.
this anytime that you feel
that
like
might be
but
it.
actually
It was like,
say
why
to
does your
do
house
this
smell
right
like
after
rosemary
your
and vajayjay?
administration, right after your period has gone off. I tell you, I
Right
can never
after
do a
your-
video without a freaking blooper. Ever. Never, ever, ever. Now I've poured.
That makes me want to
warm
sit
concoction. Well, actually, it's a steam
Okay.
concoction.
You know what?
Into
Pause.
the big.
This actually works a lot better if you add about a pint of vodka and you heat that up. A whole different level of experience. You just go,
the alcohol
we're going to the moon.
will vasodilate, causing more blood flow to the area that you are steaming.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're scientifically sound in your theory there.
That's called a rocket to the moon, courtesy of Smirnoff up the coulee, to be blunt about it. And that's the thing too, by the way, Dr. Torres.
I knew you taught me about butt chugging, Doc Savage. Is vaginal chugging a thing? Is that
Wait,
a thing? Butt chugging is where you put alcohol in your butt. Because of the mucosal membranes, it hits the bloodstream faster. Don't do it with like yeah. But can you do that with your vaginal? Is vaginal chugging a thing?
It is a thing, and it's something that you need to be super, super careful about because you can really hurt yourself by doing that. So yeah, drink it, or if you have to, shove it up your ass. But God, come on, people! Doc Savage wrote for a living.
That a more pleasant way of doing things? How is that like? I could drink this, or I could shove it up my bum. I think I'm gonna put it up my bum. Like,
it bypasses your stomach, so that way it's not processed in the same way. So the kinetics are different. But if you put it in your vagina, if you put like pure grain alcohol, let's say I want to make me a martini straight up my lady bits without all the added olives. What straight up? What are we doing?
That would be a napalm tampon. It would be like you were on fire.
Yeah, you're gonna. I mean, that's the thing is that the mucosa, if there are any tears in it, the mucosa, that's gonna hurt so bad. Don't.
I mean, imagine taking a lemon and doing the same thing, and it would be equivalent, and that's called Del Monte's revenge in the community. It's a terrible thing.
I've heard of soaking your tampons in vodka. I have heard of that. I don't know where that particular cultural reference came from, but apparently people might do that. That's a bad idea.
How? I can't. I don't know. Why can't you just drink alcohol through the mouth like normal people do and avoid the potential very dangerous trauma that is placing alcohol into your bottom or into your vagina or where? Like, don't. Why?
So, I wonder.
Oh, Dr. Torres, where's your sense of adventure?
Right. I travel.
I wonder. I know vodka. Go ahead.
No, dude, there's an economic aspect to this that we're missing. Butt chugging is a very cost-effective way of getting yourself fucked up. So you forget about like 2 bottles of wine, like half a glass of Chinese cooking sherry, and you're on your way to the ER with massive alcohol toxicity because it goes right into your bloodstream, punches you in the brain, and that's fun, right? And you've got a hose in your ass, unconscious, with a bunch of other butt chuggers, one would imagine.
Oh my gosh.
Don't die that way. Like, don't. You don't want to go that way. And no amount of invention can explain that story away. So just know that it's not a good scene. You don't want that.
I wonder if there's a cult somewhere, because the cults those people tend to die a certain, they all die together, a cult-like thing. Is there a butt chugging cult? I wonder. That's where my brain goes. It's like that would be in the news.
I don't know.
Butt chugging cult.
I mean, dude, I when I was doing the sexual health outreach, which was behavioral and infectious related in the most part, but some of the behavioral stuff, I was like, I have to get over the fact that I don't get some of this. I get much of it, want to do it. And if someone can get off doing something, they're doing it. Furries.
It's a motivator.
You just have to accept it. So there is probably a community of, butt chuggers for Trump, or I hope they have a nice meeting room,
Oh my gosh. It's probably at the local Chick-fil-A on Sundays when it's closed.
I mean, they sold colonic irrigation as a good thing, as well as those tanks full of fish that you put your feet in to align something.
Yeah.
Like,
eat the dead skin off your feet.
I
Oh
always
my
thought
gosh.
I'd like to do that with like a fish tank full of weasels. Yeah. It's like, put your feet in here. It's 1995. You'll feel a lot better. Or moles, something incongruous.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Doc, I think you need to meet the pun bun.
Okay.
I think you need to meet the pun bun because Karen, Karen was another character that popped up and had a thing for Doc, but she's on vacation this week. And normally she presents a challenge to whether or not a product is real or not. And last week we learned that Goop carries necklace vibrators. So that's a thing. So we learned that, and Doc learned about Goop last week. So that was fun. But Karen's on vacation. She's not going to present a challenge for you, Doc. We have the pun bun. So let's see if you can get through all of these science puns. It's very cringy.
So, Karen is on vacation with a Google AI or something. She's decided to go head out on the Twitterverse and go surfing on the web or something with some dude or whatever. I'm just saying, Doc, she's kind of upset. So I guess she told me to tell you this, that maybe you'll get jealous because you didn't return her phone calls, but she's hooking up with Google AI. I think his name is Bill or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Karen's on vacation, but the pun bun has decided to show up and see and deliver a challenge to you, Doc. And feel free to join Dr. Torres if you like. It's not mandatory. Doc is the one we torture here. So
this is the moment where I think, what dark travesty has my life become? Where did it all start to go wrong?
All right, let's see. What's Pun Bun bringing us?
So, since Karen isn't here, and I am, let me introduce myself. I am the Science Pun Bun, here to brighten your day with all kinds of sciencey puns. And your challenge is to see how long you can go without laughing or groaning. So, if you groan, the challenge is over. If you laugh, the challenge is over. So let's see how long you can go. And then you can stop at any time.
Okay, what do I win if I manage to do the thing? Because, I'm here, highly qualified, curing cancer, 25 years experience, living in the back cave, like a hitman, talking to Harvey the Rabbit. So what do I win?
I will bring you a T-shirt when I visit. How about that?
Will you make me a delicious sandwich?
I will personally make you a delicious sandwich because we're friends, Doc, and I care.
And you know your place, right?
I only make sandwiches for people I like, not for G-Man. Is that whatever?
Go ahead. Dr. Torres, you know I am not that guy. I just.
Oh, I know. I know you're not that guy.
Let's go. Bring on Johnny Darko's freak show. Okay.
Johnny Darko.
This particular challenge is going to focus on all the things associated with sciencey pickup lines. Are you ready, Doc? Awesome. If I were an enzyme, I'd be DNA helicase so I could unzip your genes. You look sweeter than 3.14. You must be the square root of -1 because there is no way that you can be real.
I'm laughing, but I made this, so I'm I'm immune because I already know it's coming up. I love puns. I'm totally not gonna lie. Okay, how y'all feeling? You feeling all right?
They're good. They're good.
All right. Let's keep going.
According to the second law of thermodynamics, you're supposed to share your hotness with me. Do you have 11 protons because you are sodium fine? Ooh. Guess what? I'm hung like a folk pendulum. It's true, though. I can really see myself periodically doing you on the table. You know what I'm saying?
Dog, you're so
It's not fair that Mel is laughing.
I know it's not
fair.
It's I made all these characters, and I'm like, oh God, I cracked myself up, but that's probably terribly narcissistic. But God, I love this. So, all right, sorry.
That offends my feminism.
You having fun, Doc? You ready for some more? You gonna call pause and stop on this challenge? Well, we're gonna keep going through this one, and we'll see what happens. I know hundreds of pi digits, but I really want to know is the 7 digits of your phone number. If I was a virus, I would infect you with my love. I'm very viral.
All right, I'll have a sandwich then. Thank you very much.
No, we got one more, dude. We got one more. You can
All
do
right.
it. You can do it. We got one more. You can do it. I'm rooting for you.
If you go out with me, I promise I won't take you for granted. I bet you like calcium bicarbonate. If I get you wet, the reaction will be explosive. Oh my gosh, I slapped my knee on that. Neon, you get it? Oh my God. I messed up my own challenge, but that was sodium funny. I couldn't help it.
This is what I have to put up with, Dr. Torres. Week in, week out. I'm being stalked by disembodied heads with really bad jokes.
Yeah, no, I feel your pain. I do. I mean, I'm being stalked by crazy people with guns. No, people with guns who have insane ideas that are spoken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may not be clinical. I don't know.
I would I feel that yeah, I mean we make fun of things, and I have a joke around here, but that is a real issue where medical doctors are providing medical service that's needed and being threatened. Because that really makes sense, for goodness sake. Dear God.
And and obviously you've had, I'm sure, your own threats and insults, and because of how you caused autism. It's people are ridiculous, but I can't fathom the pain of being stalked by animojis. That's a new I don't know. There's got to be a line or like a phone number you can call or something. Like, do you feel safe? Are you
an emoji anonymous?
Oh my goodness.
Well, it's not really painful. It's more like an irritation, like the difference between syphilis and maybe the crabs. But it doesn't mean that I'm enjoying it that much.
Right. Get you.
A lot like crabs.
I think Punbun's gonna sign off. So what's Punbun got to say? Punbun is funny. Oh, one more video, Bull, I think, for Punbun.
You guys did a great job. It's okay. I had a good time being here. Thanks so much, ScientistMel and Doc, for having me on. I am the Science Punbun, and I will see you next time. Keep smiling and sciencing. Ha ha. Have a great audacity. I know I got it. Do you?
I will put you in a pie, you anthropomorphized rodent.
that was the very first introduction of the pun bun, and also Plentiful Pussy. Those are very first their premieres of those characters. So
I think we can all get behind the world with Plentiful Pussy.
You know, they're our new sponsor, so you know who knows what next week or the followings commercial will be. I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yeah. What do you think of Pun Bun, Doc?
Yeah. I don't really like people, but I kind of like interacting with them sometimes. But when I see these characters, I think of like Holly the computer on Red Dwarf, who was always kind of funny, and then the rabbit comes on and does puns. And it's great. It's a perfect investment of my time.
I liked Krieg when he became Krieg. Remember?
Actually, all of that bit's performance art. I have a lot of fun doing this and interacting with people in a lighthearted way on really, really serious issues. Sometimes facilitated by rodents, magic talking rodents.
Well, we're coming up on almost 2 hours. I know, Doc, you might turn into a pumpkin soon. And I know, Dr. Torres, it's been amazing having you here. And I don't want to keep you too much longer because we're trying to be responsible adults on a Sunday. So why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and everything? Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, not where they can find me.
GPS coordinates.
My GPS location is... no, so I'm on Twitter at Leah N. Torres, Torres. I'm on the YouTube under Docsplaining. I've done a few posts. I'm not as consistent as ScientistMel is, but I don't have a producer either. So anybody want to help me? I'm all about it. So Docsplaining on YouTube, and that's pretty much where you can find me most of the time.
I'm so happy you were able to pop back on here. This has been awesome.
Well, thank you guys both. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, everyone should immediately go to Docsplaining and subscribe and like every video and give Dr. Torres all of your money. Do it now. Yeah. Your life will be transformed instantly. Yeah. Or, check it out. It'll be awesome. I'm definitely going to do that because I've thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. And if you need a guest vaccine dude for a little bit of mansplain, docsplain, you could tag team in there. Mansplaining moment from Doc Savage.
Thank you so much.
Consider me a resource. It's been a delight, and many thanks.
Thank you as well. And I too, of course, as Mel knows, I am a resource, and you guys are great. Keep doing what you're doing. This is great, and appreciate the science, appreciate the humor, and all the things. Thank you.
Thank you again, Dr. Torres, and please do come back anytime. Doors always open.
Yep.
All right. Friend of the show. Friend of the show. So thank you guys in the chat. Everybody's saying you're fantastic, Dr. Torres. They're so happy to be here. Nate Brody was in the chat. You remember you spoke with him about Roe versus Wade. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys. I want to see if there's any quick questions before we go. I don't see any right off, but everybody was very positive and receptive. So this is awesome. So thank you guys for joining us on Oral Audacity. We'll be back again next time. I do have a shop, scientistmel.com/shop. Maybe we will have a Plentiful Pussy t-shirt. I don't know. I'm thinking we might need that, Doc.
Yeah, and visit my I have a shop where you can buy virtual merchandise, which means you give me your money and you get dick all, but you can trade dick all with your moron friends.
That sounds fantastic.
Virtual merch.
What about the faxing of the window licking? I thought that was a thing.
Crypto merch, and I'm selling a range of flavored windows that I can have delivered to you by Skype.
So you two can find out which snozberries taste like. Come with me and you'll be in a world. So yes, I do have an entire series in my shop called Blocked By. So people who have poor behavior on social media, I take what they say, put it on t-shirts, and then donate it all to charity. Charities include ACLU, Planned Parenthood, the Trevor Project, Anxiety and Depression Association of America, different organizations that are on the front line. So if you have ideas, and we'll be working, I'm going to throw this out. I appeared on Atheist Edge recently. We'll be working with them as they have a particular charity. I've got to get the name. It has the number 22 in it, but a charity close to their heart is families. This charity contributes money to families who have veterans who have passed away by suicide. And so that money goes to those families to help boost awareness on depression. So we will soon be carrying merchandise where all the proceeds go to that particular charity as well. So we do try to give back where we can. So, like, share, and subscribe. Check out stuff. Check out Dr. Torres. She's amazing on Twitter, if you didn't know already. So, and Doc's not on Twitter, but if you want to talk to him, send me a message and I'll filter it if I need to before I get it to him. Whatever. And thank you.
If you want to get
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go
if you
ahead,
want
Doc.
to get in touch with me, you can't. Tough.
Fair.
Okay. There you go. I'll send it to Doc.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I'm actually less
thoughts?
nice than this in real life.
I'm so glad you're nice to me, though. I've seen you be mean to others. I'm so glad I'm not on the receiving end of that.
No. Me? Oh, I'm a bucket of chuckles.
Well, I'm going to give the mic to Dr. Torres. Any last thoughts before we wrap up, Dr. Torres?
As always, be kind to one another and be careful about your use of belief versus accepting or denying facts. I think our lexicon needs to be changed a bit. Instead of saying I think or I believe, I accept or deny the following fact.
Fair enough.
Here.
What about you?
Well said.
Doc Savage, do you have a rules for life or rules for living?
Doc Savage, Rules for Living. This is number 86. Don't judge the value of a person by their genitals.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. And Brian Harris, thank you for the super chat. There's got to be a merchandise series on Meow Meow. Yes, that would be Stefan Molyneux. We call him Meow Meow because we don't want to have to pronounce his last name, and he's not a nice man. So whatever.
I don't call him that. I call him fascist douchebag, which has a certain ring to it, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for this 7th episode of Oral Audacity. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I just this is my favorite show I do every week. So this is great. Thank you, Dr. Torres. Thank you, Doc Savage. And we will see you guys next time. Bye.
It's been a delight. Bye now.
I absolutely adore Doc.
Because I have testicles for some reason.